And that's what's happened today. So anything that you're doing today that the system on the outside is pretty much pushing to you, all you have to do and look and see is most of the time, anything that doesn't follow into the heirloom level, and heirloom just means that it hasn't been changed. A watermelon that's this big, and this is why I have some different things, we'll go through this in a minute here. A watermelon this big, that's organic, that's seedless. What's wrong with that? It's organic. Cool. Okay, it's seedless. Okay, it's seedless, which means it's sterile. Here, let me, on his vehicle, we're going to cut his testes off and your ovaries, means you're both sterile. You've lost your hormones. You've lost your power. Okay? And forget the sexuality. You've lost your power. Your hormones are your power. Okay? Now,
created for image, not energy.
Say again?
It's been created for image, not energy. The watermelon. The watermelon.
The watermelon. Okay, so now check it out. It's made for poundage. John the Baptist is a farmer, and he knows the more pounds he gets on that wagon, the more that scale goes like this, the more money he makes. So he got hoodwinked because he was making small watermelons before, and these were real. He was really not understanding pesticides because he never used them before anyways. But what he did was he used commercial fertilizers, and he killed all the very sensitive microbes in the ground, and now his watermelons won't grow. His food that he used to grow there before won't grow anymore, is because the ground now has been perverted. So you can see 3 or 4 generations of eating foods that are actually only made out of 3 minerals, NPK, is exactly what we see today. Our bodies need to be remineralized. And we're going to take a break here in a sec. That's why we came up with some organic vitamins. These are all cheap. Everybody says, why do I need to take them? Because we're demineralized. Until you catch up, realistically, once your body gets full, it's like your gas tank. You can't put any more in it. But once it gets full of nutrition, and it's not your body that gets nutrition. It's your glands that dictate how your body actually functions. Your brain, the supercomputer, if it never gets fed, there's no way for the body to regenerate itself because it's a machine that regenerates itself on its own. There are no healers in this world. That's all, I say that's all sort of charlatanism. The body is a healer. All we can do is help it heal. We can add to its ability to become self-organizational. You give it what it needs and take away what it doesn't and guide it. Of course it needs guidance. And by the way, Al, who's here? Who else is a personal trainer here that actually takes people and guides? Okay, and what was your name?
Brian.
Brian? This is very essential for everybody. Look, for about 2 or 3 or 4 months, for you to get guided to get up to a certain level, this is what these guys do. And it really does help. You know, people go to retreats in different places to be able to sort of get on the plan, on the program. So if you don't have the monies, remember, sometimes it's not necessary really to have a trainer, but it's really nice because once you get to a certain level, then you're kick-started. But if you don't, your next best trainer, if you can't afford anybody, which I really recommend even for a short period of time, because what it does is it gets you to do things. You committed. Most people can't commit because they got too many commitments. 5 minutes? Okay. So Al has anybody that's part of ESP2, and I'm sure, you know, we're really trying to get people to go. We're really working with a new variety of ways to be able to self-manage your new life. This is your own life. No one's going to manage it for you. You have to do it yourself. And I can promise you, after 6 months of just going on heirloom foods and changing your toxicity load, it's very simple. You will have very little turbulence, if anything, because you're not killing anything. And if you want to do cleanses, then you be very careful not to kill anything, because a lot of these Cassar Sagrada cleanses, all these different types of herbs that you take to do what? To kill something? What are you trying to do? Start a fight with an alien? I don't think that's that smart. Especially when you know that what lives inside you, well, you know, and a lot of people have seen what we've, you know, we're really just getting into. Everybody in this room, really, once you read Parasite Rex, you'll see that what lives inside you is so genius, the last thing you want to do is try to kill it. All you have to do is, this has been proven fact, the microbes that live inside you, they only live by how you tell them how to live. So if you live in this level, they live at that level. You switch your vibration and move it up to here, they live with you and pleomorphically change. Pleo, shape shifter. We shape shift into this new being. Thou shalt not kill anything. Very simple. Once you do this for 21 days, what you'll do is you'll be on a new level of vibration. You'll go through about 2 months maximum before you do this again, 21 days. I like to do it every 21 days, and you lay off for 30 days, because what you did was you just aligned your new energy. And then you do it again for 21 days. And what you do is you do liquids only, if you can. You get 6 different liquids. Yes?
What does a 2-foot fish tapeworm shapeshift into?
Well, what happens is it only lives in the body as the beef tapeworm, the fish tapeworm, and the pork tapeworm all grow 1 foot per year. Foot a year. So let's say this gentleman's 50, and he ate his first piece of meat when he was 5. That means 45 years of growth possibility of a tapeworm. He's going, no way I got a 45-foot snake in my stomach. Really? And if you did, what would you do? Would you try to kill this thing? What if it died inside you, 45 feet of flesh? Wouldn't you think that that would be like the rattlesnake that bit me? All the creatures that died in me? Don't you think you'd have the same type of weirdness that would happen inside you? So you don't kill anything. And you'll notice if you do, what happens when you go to the doctor? We've got a couple minutes and we're going to switch here. And you should take, if you want to. Tonight, just so you know, you eat this chocolate. I'm skipping along a little bit because there's so much to talk about. But look, you eat this chocolate tonight, and I want to make sure, because I don't want to forget this with you, you won't be able to sleep tonight if there's light in your room. This is activating your pineal gland right now. You take this theobromine, and you have 2 things. You have light, and it winds you up to the light. Okay? And you have darkness. But if you have light, you will not sleep. I put a sarong over my eyes, and you'll notice that a lot of higher level conscious schools sleep with a total dark room. You need to have the pineal gland in total darkness for it to be able to secrete this dimethyltryptamine, this type of thing that really sets you into this other realm. It's called the world of dreams. So tonight, I put a sarong over my eyes, okay, or a t-shirt, like a tank top, and you make sure that you have no light in your room. And do this for a couple of months. You will see that you will sleep, not deep, you will sleep full. If you have a little light in your room, the pineal gland will not shut down. It's either turn the light on, because you have light, and the pineal gland actually goes outward. It's an out breath. Once you get darkness, you go inside. It's an in breath. This is the balance. So if you have a little light in your room there, this is why they say you can't regenerate with the light, and I found that out. That's very true. At night. So you see a lot of people in the rooms that have a lot of night lights and different things. Try blocking out the light at night. Tonight, though, if you don't, you'll see. You're going to lay in the dark, and your eyes, remember, if I close my eyes, even though the light's on, I can still see light. But if I cover them up here, I want total darkness. I would only do the cacao too, the chocolate, about 2 days a week. You don't eat any food when you do it too. This isn't to eat with food. You do it in the morning, and you're going to do this not to go to work. It's nice to go to work, but you want to really walk in nature. You want to go on a hike. This morning I did about a 7-mile bike ride. This morning. I usually do a barefoot hike every weekend, and that's one of the easiest, simplest things too, to terrain modify your electrical system. So what we're going to learn about is very easy. You're going to terrain modify the body, you terrain modify the mind, you terrain modify the heart, you terrain modify the electrical system. And once you terrain modify 3 or 4 bodies, the rest sort of are entrained because you've already done the work. One more minute and we'll close. Today, when I did my 7-mile bike ride, there's a special way to do this. You're not, remember, an earthling anymore. You're learning some of the things that are very valid, but a lot of times you have to go to India. You got to go to the Far East. You got to go all these places where these secrets are being held. You're going to train with your nose only. None of this breathing through your mouth. You're going to train your brain, your heart, and your lungs to work together. You want to get equanimity with the largest organs in your body so you could actually be entrained. The rest will follow. There's actually a guy you can watch. It's called From Atom to Cosmos. A person named Istaf Bentov. How many people have heard of him? I know you have. How many other people? I know you have because you're part of this crazy group here. How many other people have heard of how do you say his name? Istaf Bentov. What's that?
Can you repeat it?
Do you have that tape here, From Atom to Cosmos? Excellent, excellent tape for everybody. You can just go on YouTube and watch it. So, From Atom to Cosmos, and watch this about 10 times. You will see how there's a sine wave. This guy was so advanced, there was like 25 conscious people in the 70s going to a conscious such, and the whole plane blew up. Wonder why. Okay, remember, these are jeweled beings on this planet. They're in shortwave. They're bringing you what they see back to AM 640 KFI and the FM dial. These are what you'd call jewels, precursors to where we're all going to be. So all we can do is really work together. See, if you think you're going to grow right now without working with each other, that's foolish. You cannot be sustainable unless you're group sustainable. All this self-sustainability is dumb. Is anybody in here self-sustainable? You can't be. You have to be group sustainable. Group sustainable means tribe sustainable. If we all work together, look how many people in here, if we all worked together and had one mind going in a direction that would make sense instead of everybody trying to make a nut at the end of the day for paying for things that are free. So the new emerging consciousness right now is to work with each other, and this whole idea of triality. Triality means the opposite of duality. Triality means we're all going to get along. I'm going to share my secrets with you. You're going to share your secrets with me. And we're all at a level where there's not a pyramid like this. See, my growth is your growth, and your growth is my growth. And this is a new game. And the only way really to be able to see this is to really change your consciousness. And once you do, see, healthy, wealthy, happy, and wise is the first segment to consciousness. You can't talk about it. Once you get healthy, wealthy, happy, and wise, then your whole idea is now, you can't do anything else. What else are you going to do once you get healthy? What else are you going to do? You're programmed to share. So let's take a little quick break here.